This is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com. We're here with Tim Alcorn from AM 930 WEOL. Week number 8, Tim.
It's flying by.
Right?
I mean, it goes so fast, and here we are, only 3 weeks left in the regular season, starting Friday night. Some big games as far as the conference races are concerned, not only as far as who may win conferences, but also big games insofar as that playoff push is concerned. You get into that stretch run, and all of a sudden, everybody's looking at those weekly points that are put out by the OHSAA. So some fun weeks ahead starting tonight with Week 8.
So who are we talking about? What were our big games?
Well, huge game this week. We'll have it on our website on WEOL.com. It'll be our Stream 2 game over at Midview. The Middies are getting a lot of ink and a lot of press this year, certainly deservedly so. 7-0 going into tonight's game against Elyria Catholic. Panthers, though, having a very nice season of their own, got a big win last Friday night against Lakewood. They still are very much alive insofar as the playoff push is concerned. It's a great rivalry game, so that should be an outstanding contest at Midview.
You know, we do a lot of talk about Midview because they've been so strong this year, but what teams are maybe sliding under the radar a little bit?
That's a great question. There are several teams that certainly aren't getting all of that publicity that we talked about with Midview, but you look at a team like the Keystone Wildcats. I mean, if the season were to end today, Keystone would be in the playoffs. They would be a playoff team. The Columbia Raiders, one of the great programs in our area, one of the outstanding coaches in Jason Ward. In fact, we have Columbia Friday night on WEOL. That's our radio game as they take on Lutheran West. They only have one loss on the season, having a tremendous campaign. So if they win out, I think they'll be in the playoffs again. What a great job Jason Ward has done. Fireland sitting at 5-2, a team that didn't win any games last year. They're having a great season under Mike Passarello. And I'll tell you a team that I think deserves a lot of credit. They may not get to the playoffs. They've had 2 heartbreaking losses in a row, but the Lorain Titans, they hired Dave McFarland in the offseason. What a great job he's done. Their last 2 games have just been horrible losses, just terrible. They lost to Bedford a couple of weeks ago, and then last Friday night went for 2 in the waning seconds against Maple Heights. Didn't get it, came up a point short, but Dave McFarland will turn things around over at Lorain High. He's doing a fabulous job.
Great. All right, we'll say there's no I in team, but there are some individuals out there also sliding under the radar.
That's a good point, too. I mean, you hear a lot about the Dustin Crumbs out at Midview, Demario McCall at North Ridgeville, but there's some other guys that are having tremendous seasons. I mentioned Columbia. They've got a running back in Tristan Reinflesh. He's already rushed for over 1,100 yards, and we're only 7 games into the season. You hear a lot about Justin Rankin over at Elyria Catholic, but you hear a lot about his offense. He is just as good on the defensive side of the ball. He's an outstanding defensive player. Brad Thrasher at Fireland, so one of the real promising young quarterbacks in the area. So, yeah, there's some great talent in Lorain County. There's some outstanding teams. It's going to be a fun final 3 weeks of the season.
All right, sounds great, Tim. Well, we're getting close to the end of this, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking about basketball pretty soon, so we'll see how this wraps up.
Well, let's hope the football playoffs take us deep into the month of November. I mentioned earlier that if the playoffs started right now, there'd be some teams that would be in, so let's hope we get a lot of Lorain County teams in and we can talk football playoffs right up until Thanksgiving.
I love it. All right, thanks, Tim.
All right, Bruce.